Ron Rivera is trying to bring back the band back together from Carolina as much as possible.
That's what you expect when a guy's hired. He brings in guys that he's worked with before, he's comfortable with.
Right.
Makes all the sense in the world.
On the face of it, it makes a lot of sense. I would have preferred, as a fan, that O'Connell stayed because I like the continuity. I think I think last year was a big jump for Dwayne. I think it is for anybody that comes from a college system like Ohio State,
especially after just 1 year.
Yeah, it's only 1 year in the system, and they run this clapping system, one-word play call stuff at Ohio State. So it was a big jump for him, and it was an issue. Everybody talked about it. I think it'd be an issue for any quarterback. So then and then you really saw growth, right? And then now to have to kind of scrap all that and learn a whole new system. It's just a lot. Not to say that he won't be successful at it. I assume that he will be.
Maybe they'll keep some of the elements that he was.
And I'm sure a lot of the elements from each offense are similar. But still, it's just another thing for him to have to absorb. And it's something that veteran quarterbacks struggle with anytime they switch systems. So I would have loved to have him stay in the same system for at least 2 years, but it's not going to happen.
Both Turner and Kevin O'Connell, though, not experienced offensive coordinators. I mean,
true.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin O'Connell just took over the play calling at the end of the season. Same thing with Turner.
Yeah,
true. But Turner, O'Connell too, but especially with him being the son of Norv Turner, he's been around it his whole life.
That's all he's been doing.
Yeah,
looking at offensive tape.
Right,
it's probably 10.
Right. So I assume he'll be as well prepared for this as anybody. He got a little taste of it last year when his dad, I guess, moved upstairs to become a special assistant to the team, and he took over the play calling duties in the sort of the second half of the season there when Rivera, I guess, was moved on. But I did look up the concepts, like what do you expect from Norv's offense from some articles, and he's obviously from the Air Coryell era, right? So he's a disciple of that. Which is cool. They say
vertical.
There are 5 sort of principles that you'll see with the Norv Turner offense, and I assume Scott will implement most of the same concepts that his dad has shown. All right, plenty of downfield throws, which we love, right?
Just roll it.
We've been looking for that.
Use that McLaurin speed downfield.
A power running game. All right, and Ron Rivera, when he hired Norv a couple years ago in Carolina, talked about that, how he wants to be able to set the tone with the run or back defensive backs off with downfield passing and then go to the running game. So running game, they're not going to ignore that. They also want a versatile back. So a power back, they've got that in AP. And then they want a versatile back, a matchup problem, a guy that you can use in passing situations. I mean, who's better? I mean, Geis can do both. That's the great thing about Geis. He can do both. And then, presumably Bryce Love is a guy kind of cut from the same cloth who could do some of those versatile things too. And frankly, we know that Chris Thompson can.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't picture Geis playing more than a handful.
It's hard to imagine, but maybe he can break out of it.
Well, we'll see.
But here's an interesting, the 2 other sort of principles, I guess they say, of a Norv Turner offense, assuming Scott runs a lot of the same concepts and a very similar thing. A tight end who could stretch the field. Well, we don't have that anymore.
Not right now.
I mean, I assume it's over for Jordan.
Probably, yeah. And Vernon Davis.
So that's going to be...
They're going to address that.
They got to address that in the draft.
Absolutely.
So you can draft Chase Young or whatever you want. They need to address that.
I need to look up free agent tight ends.
All right. Well, you need to get a tight end who can stretch the field. I can't imagine there's going to be some great ones available. Maybe there will be. And then they say big receivers. Now, I was thinking about that.
Harmon's relatively
big-ish.
McLaurin is not big.
McLaurin's not big. Steve Sims is not big.
No.
I guess Cam Sims is big. They got him in the building. You always hear about Cam Sims every year. And
again, that's somebody I would not
in training
be counting on.
You can get someone in the draft that's big.
So look for big.
To be honest with you, I think they need some little more speed downfield speed so Haskins can take shots, not just McLaurin. I know Richardson's fast, but you can't count on him.
Richardson's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he won't be back.
Yeah. So they can address that in the draft, and you can get their receiver position is just loaded this year in the draft, so you can get some big kids there.
Well, I want to see the tight end. I'm very curious to see how they attack that position.
A few tight end names that are free agents in 2020. Vance McDonald from the Steelers. Eric Ebron from the Colts. Vernon Davis, who's on the roster right now.
Love Vernon, but, it's time to
Tyler Eifert. This one's intriguing, but I'm guessing he's not going to leave the team he's on right now. Hunter Henry.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Injury
a guy.
issues, though, right?
He missed a good portion of this past season with an injury. Yeah. But, I mean, he's only 25 years old.
It is interesting that Rivera is bringing in guys that he's worked with and he's comfortable with, and that's to be expected, as Cake said. But there is going to be change. There's going to be turnover. And I mentioned that on Twitter. Jason hit me up and said, "Hey, look, man, I got a source here. Scott Turner's going to be named the offensive coordinator," and we were going back and forth on it.
It's so funny.
And I wanted to make sure we had it nailed because I said I'll put it out there, but I want to make sure we have it nailed.
This is a funny conversation that Eric and I had yesterday because Eric is into breaking news.
Well, if we have it nailed,
no, I get it, I understand.
But you can't put it out there and be wrong. So it's like,
because I'm not a Twitter guy. I know you guys are the social media guys, and I'm glad.
So I
you
said,
guys
"Well, go back, hit your source up," and I ask him this, ask him that, and I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Let me run it by CK." All right, we'll just go with it. I know it's going to happen, right? And just knew it made all the sense in the world, but nobody was really putting it out there yet.
And I told him,
so he got the ADs and you didn't.
Well, I said
well,
we.
that's fine.
But I tweeted it was we.
Right. I don't care
we.
about that stuff.
Right.
I don't care about it. I just told him, hey, you might be interested. Because I know I didn't tell him that thinking, all right, he can break the story.
Right.
I just told him that because he's the biggest Skins fan I know.
Sure.
Yeah. No, and as soon as you tell me, I go, oh, no, we want to break that.
Right, because that's
You
what
just
he's
had a
always
buddy
thinking
tell
about.
you.
I got a very good.
Don't say.
No,
don't
I'm not going to say
don't
anything.
say who the
I've got a
source is.
very good source on the end for that. But I just told him thinking, all right, he's going to like this because I know you wanted to bring O'Connell back.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Oh, we got to break the story."
We got to break it.
You can do what you want. It's your Twitter handle. I don't.
No, but you got to make sure you're right.
Wonder who this source might be.
Don't worry about it. We'll tell you during the break.
I can't get into it.
I'll
But
tell you what,
interesting.
I was in maybe the minority of not really caring if Kevin O'Connell came back because I was not impressed with the offense under the Kevin
A
O'Connell
lot of people
run.
think that, and I think that's a very fair view.
Well, a lot of it too. He was shackled by Callahan and what he wanted to do.
Understood.
Probably the correct view.
But it's hard to lobby for a guy, in my opinion, who has a team that is at the bottom or near the bottom of every offensive statistical category that matters, like yards and points. Now, was he hamstrung? Yes. Did he have a rookie quarterback? Yes. Did he have injuries? Yes. Look at the bottom. You want to retain the guy's team?
For one reason, and that was because I just didn't want Dwayne to have to be saddled, and any quarterback to be saddled with learning another offense, another language.
But it may be
when
a
that
better
was,
offense.
It could be. I
In
assume
fact,
it will be.
It can't be a worse offense.
Well, again, there's plenty of reporting out there, and you could talk to people that tell you O'Connell really was hamstrung until the last few weeks, and that's when Dwayne started to blossom.
But
so
I
you were
think-
seeing
but see,
growth.
But I would just counter that by saying I think Dwayne started to blossom, and you can say that Kevin O'Connell contributed just because he's playing. Once a guy starts playing that's inexperienced, he's going to get better.
I think it was more than that. I think it was some concepts that they were running the last few weeks. I think some of the handcuffs were taking off. I don't think it was pound the ball with AP 35 times like it was the first 4 weeks of Callahan's tenure there. I think there was a real battle going back and forth between Callahan and O'Connell. I think that might be one of the reasons why O'Connell's not going to be here anymore.
Well, their last win was pounding the football.
Yeah, well,
Carolina.
they got more interesting and they got closer.
But they were
in these
scoring
last
some
4 weeks,
points
they were
the last
scoring
few
points, and they more resembled an NFL team the last few weeks. So anyway, regardless, he'll be fine. To me, it's just another hurdle to have to learn another offense. I count it as 3 in the last 3 years, and I got attacked savagely by people on social media because it's unbelievable. Twitter's the worst place in the world.
I know.
Because how can you count college? Every quarterback has to come from a college to the pros. That doesn't count. Okay, fair enough. Except that when you come from a college, it's basically not running any pro concepts. It's a big leap, and it was an issue last year. Not to say that Dwayne didn't overcome it, but it was a hurdle he had to overcome.